Morning. You can hear the dinosaurs. You guys ready to come out? So it is raining, and my parents are in town, and they're staying at a hotel with an elevator. So my kids spent the night with them last night at the hotel. Sorry to the hotel, because I'm sure that they were riding that elevator up and down. Very exciting. So I went to bed way later than I normally do. Got up probably earlier than I have been lately, and still feel so much more energetic and completely refreshed. And I think it's because for hours there was no talking, and I didn't have to worry about being responsible for other people's lives. Kids, these daffodils are just booming today. The amount of beauty in this one spot is, I could sit here a long time. So I'm excited about how this space has kind of evolved over time. It's only been, I'd say, a year that this whole bed has been in here, and already it is starting to do its own thing. I planted some creeping Jenny because I love it. I think it's great. It's a great ground cover. It's so pretty and happy. And last year the chickens had decimated it, but it came back, and look, some of it's getting in the grass. And while that might be a problem for some people, it is not a problem for me, because I don't want grass in here. I don't want grass in here anymore. Remember, one of my goals for this year was to start naturalizing spaces more and getting rid of the grass and introducing other things. I'm not saying creeping Jenny's like native or anything. I honestly have no idea, but I don't want so much grass. I want a plethora, like a good mixture of different plants, not just monoculture grass. Look at our blueberry bush. Remember how we just planted this poor thing that had been sitting in a pot for 10 years, and already it looks wildly more happy than it ever did in that poor little pot. I'm so sorry it took me this long, plant. Maybe we'll actually get blueberries this year. Look at this tree showing off right now. Oh my goodness, beautiful. I love how the trees just like come in waves. Look at the cherries and the peaches, and now I think it's a crabapple tree, and it just kind of just keeps going. Always something new, blooming and growing, and it's beautiful. I know it's raining, we're getting wet, but I wanted to show an update on the seeds that we direct sowed 9 days ago. The exciting thing about doing YouTube that I didn't realize was going to be such a perk is that I just wondered, when did I sow those? And I could just look back through the videos and say, oh, I sowed them 9 days ago. So it's been very handy for that. So we sowed radishes and beets and stuff like that. And look, you can see the lines of plants. They grew. So it took about 9 days, but they are up, and I am so excited about that, because honestly, I feel like when they're out in the garden, they have less chance of me messing them up. Yesterday, I burnt more of the kale, I think it was kale plants, it might have been kale or cabbage plants, which I've already done like twice, because just with the fluctuating temperatures, and I was trying to protect them from certain things, and then left the cover on too long, and then it just, when they're out in the garden, I feel like maybe they're safer. We'll have to see though. As soon as the bunny rabbits get a load of that, maybe they won't be anymore. Okay, even though it is raining, while we're out here, I need to get a picture of me with the garlic. As I learn more about YouTube, I realize a lot of the mistakes that I made to begin with, and just like, you can't put any old picture up for a thumbnail for your video. So I'm gonna try to get a picture of me with the garlic for the video when I actually planted garlic. So I'm gonna have to be careful, because I want to get myself in it, but I don't want to get the fact that these jeans have like a hole in the crotch. Perfect. So some other developments. The sweet potatoes that we planted 4 weeks ago, remember we just put them in some dirt, they have started sprouting, which is what we want. Here they are in our super fancy planting container. So let me see here. So you can see right here, it's starting to sprout out. These will turn into the little vines that then will twist off and put in water. So one side grows those and the other side grows the roots. So this side has roots growing. They're very small. So if we wanted to, we could take it now and stick it upright in some dirt. And then they would all grow from the top and the roots would all grow from the bottom. Why don't we go ahead and do that? On second thought, maybe not. Unless I get a different planter. Look, these are the ones. These are the poor things I burnt yesterday. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry again. Again, I'm sorry. I'm starting to wonder if starting in pots and soil blocks and stuff is not my thing. It used to be necessity because our garden had so many weeds and we hadn't really helped the soil that much, and it was problematic because if you put in a seed, the weeds would just overtake it, and we had no fence, so the chickens would eat it. But as we've made improvements, I'm starting to think direct sowing might be a thing. So when I was talking to you before about I was going to pot up all these seedlings, I actually didn't pot up all the seedlings. I potted up some of the seedlings. I'm doing some more today. We just talk about how sometimes it's a little frustrating sometimes because, for instance, right now I have a lot of energy. I would love to spend all day just potting up seedlings and doing this stuff, but my parents are going to be bringing my kids back over. It's my son's birthday. I need to do a birthday cake. We're cooking a big dinner. So there's a lot of things, just a lot of moving parts in life, aren't there? And you have to make decisions on what you're doing. And those are the more important things to me right now. Like, those are time sensitive. Today is his birthday, so today is the day where I have to bake the cake. My parents are in town today, so I need to see them today. At the same time, today is the day where I have the most energy. It's nice out, even though it's raining, and I want to be potting up plants. That sounds really selfish. I want to be potting up plants, but that's why I've kind of committed to just doing the one thing every day, because if I waited for the stars to align, the perfect day, when I had energy, when it was nice out, when the plants were ready to be potted, when nobody was coming over, I had nothing else to do, like, I would never actually have a garden if I waited for that. It's been a difficult lesson because I feel like my personality is one where, like, either I want to do, like, today is gardening, I'm gonna go all in on gardening, we're just gonna garden, that's the only thing we're gonna care about, we're not gonna eat, we're not gonna do anything, we're just gonna garden. But that's not how life works. So now I have a lot of friends who are also the same way, and a lot of friends also who have maybe some medical problems where some days are way harder than others, and those are just bad days. And they told me about the concept of, like, spoon theory, which I will now butcher for you in my own interpretation of what I think it is. Every day you wake up and you have a certain amount of spoons, and certain tasks take certain amount of spoons and you give them away. And then when you have no more spoons, you're done, and you can borrow spoons from the next day, but then eventually you're gonna crash and it's not gonna go well. And some days more activities take more spoons than other days. And it's supposed to be a way of visualizing, giving your energy and what you give your energy to, and being conscious of how much energy do you have, how are you feeling, what can you give it to without completely depleting yourself, which I have done before. It makes you sick, it makes you not well. It also helps to know what gives you more spoons, what fills your cup, what gives you more energy. I am an introvert and I like time alone. I need time with nobody to feel replenished, to get energy back. If I spend too much time with people, it just starts getting worse and worse and worse. And with kids, what I found is the worse you get, like the more you just want to hide, the more they want energy from you and attention from you. So just being really aware of that. Gardening gives me energy, especially gardening alone. Like, I'm okay gardening with you, like, you're okay, but like with the kids, and that's different. By the same token, I want them to have a love of gardening, so I want to garden with them. I can't just be like, no, mommy's gardening, go away, right? Because I want them to learn to garden and learn to love gardening as well. So man, what a fine line and how many balls we have to juggle all the time. I am running out of room on my table here. These are old cafeteria trays. I've been using them for seed starting, and I did the seed blocking on them, and I have been, but I will warn you that they dry out super fast because they don't have the high sides to keep the moisture in, and also you can't put too much water in them because they're old and they don't hold water. But they were the right price. Free. I just planted some grass. I'm trying to plant spinach. I just planted a grass. Sorry, grass, but today is not your day. Okay, so I potted up a bunch of these spinach seedlings, but now I'm thinking for the rest of them, we're just gonna put them in a community pot. I just like got water all over. What is wrong with me? No, you don't have to have separate little buckets for every plant that you do. You can just put them all in a giant pot, okay? 2 community pots, this larger one and this little smaller one. I'm gonna take his little helmet off. I don't think there's a real reason for that other than it's satisfying. Just be like, whoop. Pretty sure my kids are gonna be here any minute, so it's time to switch back over into mom mode, hostess mode, whatever mode. I'm gonna go cut some daffodils. This is why I really need those rain barrels. I feel ridiculous putting water from a hose in a bucket right after it rained, and I should have barrels full of water. That table's always there. That's an art installation. That blue table is an art installation. See, now instead of trashy, I'm cultured. So what I know from my flower farming friends is that when you cut flowers, you should put them in water right away. Now, this is not a commercial production. I'm not selling these. I'm just taking them inside my house, so I'm not really worried about it. But I do want something to put them in. The other thing is that daffodils, apparently, they release some sort of chemical that will kill other flowers if you put them in an arrangement with the other flowers right away. So you're supposed to take them and then put them in the water and let them do their thing. But if you put them all together, I'm just going to use daffodils, so they'll be fine. Oops. It's gonna be a big old bucket of spring. I'm gonna go get these in some water. Thanks for hanging out with me. Hope you have a really good day.